Hi, my name is Mariana Hernandez, and I'm a psychic, a mystic, and an energy healer and a medium in New York City. I just wanted to talk to you all and introduce myself, and want to let you know that I do channeling as well. And I wanted to do a little bit of maybe a channeling, maybe a reading for this year. Um, You guys can find me a lot of times on Crowdcast, on Facebook at Leah Mariana Hernandez, or you could find me even on YouTube, my own personal channel where I do channel Mary. Mother Mary is my first channeling for YouTube. So, what is 2020 about before we even begin for this year? 2020, aside from the COVID pandemic, was a year of determination, a year of challenge, a year that taught you to get up, move up, and if you fall, find a way to get back up and awaken to the brand new you that will follow you from a higher vantage perspective, higher vantage point in connection to your higher self in 2021. In order to make it through 2021, you had to go to the channels and through the trials and the tribulations of 2020. Pandemic wasn't the only trials and tribulations. Many of us had our own personal battles to go through and our own personal demons to face. So a lot of 2021 I'm actually doing a beautiful angelic deck and a beautiful quantum deck as one of the prime examples. So what is 2021 about? So 2021, and you can see this beautiful, gorgeous, divine feminine holding a rose, and looks like something, in Greece and Santorino. It is your calling. 2021 is really about your calling. We are stepping into the age of Aquarius and into more of a 5D perspective. 3D is no longer suiting us in so many ways, and a lot of us are actually feeling that we don't really belong in the setting of 3D and physicality that we've known for pretty much all of our lives. And in this card, what it represents is that it says we're in a calling. Your life's purpose is like an awakening to put your gifts and talents to good use and enjoy the journey of life. It's absolutely magnificent. And then from the quantum oracle deck, we have family, friends, and guides as a message through spirit. And what does the family, friends, and guides represent? It means more or less on the intuitive end that a lot of us will be called upon to reevaluate what is our final perspective on the importance of our inner circles of life. And when we talk about the inner circles of life, we are talking about who is within our inner circle that is part of our growth, that helps us to become more advanced in our own evolutionary process, who we give love, from whom we receive love, and an interconnectedness that cannot dissipate. It's an interconnectedness that cannot just, you don't just wake up one day and stop loving your person. And we're talking about family, and we're talking about friends. And we're talking about 2020 showed us that life can change in the blink of an eye. And 2021, intuitively, as I understand it, will show us who will actually truthfully and truly show up in our life through the light days and through the dark days, through the good and the bad, through thick and thin, whether it's family, blood related or not, we will get to see the brighter picture of who will be showing up to our stage, to our script, and to our story. And we will be guided to people, and people will be guided to us, who will be helping us to advance in our journey and to keep moving forward. Those that will give us the strength and the courage when we are at our lowest point and when we're losing our faith, and those that will remind us, to keep going and what is seemingly the purpose of life, and will help us on our spiritual path to continue being the spiritual beings and to continue advancing to the greatest and most advanced and the best versions of ourselves. And I think those are two really magnificent cards that really do explain the inner workings of what 2021 is about. Now we have also Archangel Michael from the Archangel deck. And Archangel Michael beckons us to ask Archangel Michael for protection and strength. For this year will require many of us to have the perspective of asking for the protection and strength that we do have within us. It's not only just that we ask the guides or something outside of us for the protection and strength, but we draw that strength from within. We focus inward. We ask our guides, our spirit guides, we ask our galactic teams, we ask Mother Divine, we ask Father Divine, we ask the archangels, we ask the angels and our guides and ascended masters for the utmost of protection for this year as we get through the next step of this pandemic, as it continues on and as our lives continue to change. I'm even wearing the labradorite fairy, which is interesting because labradorite is considered for generations and generations to be a stone of, you lose the perspective of fear. It's meant to be a stone that gives you strength and not only protection, but it allows your fears to dissipate. And, it's kind of elemental too. I associate myself with the elemental realm. And it's really beautiful that we can actually be able to combine all the different types of realms together in so many ways and put them together and combine our different methodologies, our different belief systems, our different interconnectedness between one another, and connect ourselves within this absolutely magnificent, diverse world. That's what I truly believe. Archangel Gabriel guides our creativity throughout this time. And achievement. Focus on what makes you victorious throughout 2021, which means focus on what intention you have for bringing about the most beneficial steps to creating the biggest success in your life this year. And while we go through the challenges of what this year represents, and while our worlds and our careers are not exactly the same, everything is turning into this virtual world, we're learning to become more flexible and adjusting to that type of new world that we have. And so the next card actually is the Angel of Action. And it tells us to take action toward our destiny. That no matter whether others believe in your destiny or not, you believe and you have faith in your destiny. You have faith in that which you do. You have faith in that which you are becoming. And in that sense, you become what we call in tarot, the magician. You become the magician and the co-creator and the co-pilot and the master of your own life and your own destiny. In many ways, you work with the divine feminine, you work with the divine masculine within, you work with divine mother, you work with divine father and the archangels and the angels, and you work with your spirit guides and the ascended masters and even your galactic teams from Arcturus and Pleiades and Lyra and Andromeda and Sirius and Tatiana, Cassiopeia, from all different realms in Orion to manifest the best possible version of your reality where you feel that you fit and you belong. Because a lot of us are saying, well, we don't feel that we belong in any kind of this reality right now that's happening, because everything seems so unfamiliar. I mean, the same streets we walk on, the same streets we grew up on, or same stores we go to, same clothes we wear from 3 years ago or 5 years ago, nothing feels familiar. That's because 2021 is not meant to be a year of familiarity. Neither was 2020. 2021 is meant to be a year where you finally understand that in order for you to succeed and become the best possible version of yourself, you actually have to step out. You are beckoned by the higher powers to step out of your comfort zone and actually jump into the unknown with blind faith, believing that the unknown is already the script that you have predetermined for yourself and predestinedly wrote prior to you even arriving on this earth. And the next card from the quantum deck is actually travel. So a lot of you will be actually doing a lot of traveling this year, once the pandemic starts to die down a bit more and the global arena starts to calm down a bit more. A lot of you will feel that, last year, a lot of us felt, well, we're stuck in four walls being cooped up, and no vacations, no breaks. And mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and physiologically, a lot of us can't deal with that for much longer. A lot of us are on the road. A lot of us are travelers and adventurers. And we love to explore new places, new ideas. A lot of us are grid workers that help to heal different parts of Mother Gaia, to prepare her for the ascension. And so travel will become a dramatic part of our 2021 journey as we go into 2022, 2023, and into the next 4 years up to 2025. The earth will continue to be changing its trajectory, and the ascension process will continue to evolve in many ways. So by 2025, things will never be the same. I mean, if we think that it's unfamiliar now, it's going to be very unfamiliar in 2025. So definitely a call to get ready on that one in many ways. And it's not a written script of this is how it's going to be. It's going to be a matter of how you perceive it to be from your point of view and your standpoint. I mean, it's just how you will perceive it. Some people perceive one situation as negative, and others will perceive the same exact situation as positive. So it is really, truly up to you what intention you want to set and what script you want to write for the next 4 years, because this year will be setting of the intention and the script for a long period of time in this trajectory. And the cards do ask that you hold the utmost optimism in many ways for your future. There's really a very thin line in feeling the victimhood consciousness or feeling like things are never going to get better, even though sometimes on the outside perspective, it does feel like things are not going to get better. There's no light at the end of this dark tunnel. But if we continue to build up on that script, if we continue to write that trajectory into our lives and create that reality into our forefront, then what are we building? What foundation are we building to creating a brand new reality? For a lot of us, the pandemic opened the doorway to stop and breathe for a minute, look up at the stars, actually take a walk on the beach, and actually just to reevaluate your entire existence. It stopped being about the 9-to-5 job or the regular scheduled routine, doing the same thing day in and day out. It became something different. It became something new. It made a lot of us just stop and look at life in a different way, an opportunity which none of us will ever think that we could have gotten any other time but this. And so 2021 is merely a continuation of that process. It's not something new. It's a evolvement of how we are perceiving this entire pandemic and this sudden blink of an eye change in all of our lives. And it's a positive thing because there is new beginnings card. So it's a beautiful thing because as you see the baby and you see the new beginnings. You see these beautiful lavender flowers. You see kind of like light ray in the background. You see the nature. So it is a time of new beginnings. It may be a time of major disruption in the global arena, but it is definitely also a time of new beginnings for us all in many, many ways. So enjoy that. Take advantage of it and really build. It's giving you in Latin, it's called tabula rasa, a clean slate to build on. A new challenge, but it's a new opportunity to build something new in your life, to create a new career path, to creating a new way that you want your home to look like, to creating new relationships, to building up on your old relationships and on your family and friends, of how after reevaluation you choose to treat every relationship in your life. It's more or less, more importantly, about how you choose to have a relationship with yourself. How can you relate better to yourself? How can you self-love and self-care yourself better? And how can you give yourself more nurture? It's like nurture versus nature, really. How can you love yourself more? What can you do to bring about more love in the world by loving yourself more? What message would you like to put out to the world this year at this new beginning? Because this is your new beginning in many, many ways. And the next card is, and within that is called the Great Achievement. 2021 is going to become a year of great achievement in many ways, in many baby steps, but in many ways it will become a great achievement for humanity and for the entire human collective consciousness, because it will teach us how to manipulate energy in a more positive, constructive way and manner. It will teach us how to relate to ourselves and the world in a much better way. By that, meaning that we will be able to bring in more love and more light onto the planet and help and assist Gaia in ascending in a more easier, smoother way, without destroying it more, without that destructive path, but actually soothing the wounds, those eon-built wounds of Gaia that we have ensued as a human collective upon planet Earth. And so that way we can live a much better life, and our children's children can live and enjoy a much better life in the future. And the world as it stands has a much better survival rate as a human species. And a lot of us will be able to receive new supportive connections and contacts in helping us to build a new trajectory in our lives, which is an amazing thing. It's really great. And it's really beautiful. And you know, a lot of deception that has been in the world and in our own interpersonal relationships will come out this year in order for it to be healed and renewed and come to light. So anything that has been in darkness, anything that has been hidden in your life or from the people around you will come to life. Come to light very soon and very shortly this year. So you can make the proper perceptions and simply the proper choices for your own life of who would you like to continue investing your time and energy in, and who do you consider as your truest, closest friends, acquaintances, and people around you. It will allow you to reevaluate who you surround yourself around, because that also can impact your energy and drain your energy very much. And it will also allow you to see through certain deceptions around in the global arena as well. And that will help you to make better choices and more better determinations on how you want to live your life and perceive it in the years to come. So it's a pretty vital factor for this year, for sure, for many of us. And then happy success. For many of us, we will definitely have a lot of happiness and success in how we build our life. And that's really amazing, because a lot of us did work to be able to get through our dark nights of the souls and our dark shadows and battle our demons and battle our battles to the core, until we see the truest path, until we look at things from a higher perspective and a vantage point, and our higher selves become more visible through our physical vehicle rather than our lower self and our lower bodies taking over and our lower emotions taking over the arena of our life and our world. So it's a great card for sure. And as long as we stay committed to the goals that we build for ourselves this year, that will be the most important aspect. We stay committed to building a spiritual routine, a regimen. We stay committed to doing certain meditations, if that works for us, if that's something that we do. We stay committed to building a goal and intent for our career or our future career path. And we definitely build a goal in the relationships that we hold with the people that we associate with, and most importantly, how we treat ourselves. What do we do for ourselves this year that makes it different? How do we improve our life? Whether it's nutrition, hydration, taking a walk on the beach, going more into nature. If you can't travel due to restrictions and bans, you can still find ways to go about your daily life and creating a regimen where you do something for yourself at least once a day that can give you those endorphins, that can bring up those serotonin levels, that can bring back the joy in your life, instead of running on a spin wheel for 24 hours. So I do wish you all the most magnificent, most light-filled, loved 2021. And we will continue to recap once a month and do a reading for either the new moon or the full moon, or at least just for the month energy update or astrological update for sure. And see where the stars take us, see where the energies take us, and see where the world takes us. And it's definitely an honor to be in the human collective at this time with you all. I love you all. I'm Leah Mariana Hernandez, and from my heart to yours, namaste.